Get ready to see Trump Border Czar Tom Homan tear a political reporter to shreds. Imagine some paper being ripped, all right? It is that bad. Folks, I think we can all say, you know, it's kind of cool having Tom Homan go and talk about deportations and stuff because it's something we really need, okay? Now, as for whether it'll actually happen, that's a different story. I don't know. ICE has released no deportations data as of now since, you know, for the beginning of Trump's term. Hopefully it gets released soon and that we actually see some real mass deportations. But neither here nor there. Homan destroyed this reporter. It is good, and I think you're going to like it. So we are going to get right into it. But first, do me a huge favor, folks, here, all right? Like our video and share it around. That way, we can keep bringing you all this great, hard-hitting content. And as always, Patriots, I am your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
I think one of the things that's had a lot of folks up in arms is that ICE agents, unlike other law enforcement, have been masked to protect their identities. That's not something that we've really had on this scale in this country. Do you?
Well, we never had the scale of attacks on ICE. We have now up 700% attacks on ICE. Doxing against ICE agents.
Well, you've had increased attacks on police officers as well in the wake of the defund the police movement too, but they haven't put masks on.
You name a police agency that has a 700% increase on assaults. Name one.
I haven't looked at that data, yeah.
You won't find one. The attacks on ICE is unprecedented, 700% increase. And we're not even talking about the doxing of agents, their spouses, and their children. So they're wearing masks to help give them some sort of protection. But the same people that are complaining about ICE wearing masks, have they ever said anything about BLM protesters wearing masks?
Well, I mean, that leads me to the question that, like, do you have concerns that
Let me answer, though. Let me answer.
Yeah, okay.
Have they ever say anything about the mass protesters that became criminals on college campuses that threatened Jewish students and took over buildings, destroyed property? They were all wearing masks. Did anybody pass legislation saying they can't wear a mask during a protest? No. We're talking about law enforcement.
Oh, I think there are a lot of people who are upset about that. But then,
have you seen any legislation proposed to remove masks from protesters that become criminals, that take over college campuses? You haven't. Look at the BLM protesters, how many lives were lost, how much property was stolen. They're all wearing masks. Did anybody propose legislation saying it's illegal to wear a mask in public while you're protesting? No, there isn't. This is attacking ICE officers. The Democrats want to vilify men and women of ICE and border. And I said from day one, when President Trump won office and I came back and said, now the vilification starts. Right now, it's the racist ICE, the racist Border Czar for simply enforcing the law to deal with the repercussions of Biden administration's open borders, where millions of criminals and public safety threats were released in this country. So I support ICE wearing masks. You're still wearing insignia. You got HSI, ERO, or FBI, DEA, but there needs to be some level of protection because the tax is unprecedented.
It is insane how much negative backlash ICE agents have been getting, even though frankly, I don't even think they're deporting that many people. But, you know, a little deportations are enough for these whack job Democrats. Just take a look at this video. Look at these people, how they act like absolute animals, okay? It's disturbing. Throwing rocks at federal law enforcement vehicles. There are reports that they shot at them too, all right? I don't have that on video, but there are reports that was also going. I mean, look at this. Disgusting. They're shattering a window right there. You see that? They're probably actually injuring people who are inside there. Really wicked stuff. Just totally insane. Come on, back up. You know what to do. If only he, you know. I'm not saying anything. Then consider that the numbers are even worse than when Tom Homan had this recent interview. Now we're seeing a skyrocket of about 830% in terms of increased assaults on ICE. And look right over here. DHS announces ICE law enforcement are now facing an 830% increase in assaults. Okay, and this is from January 21st. This is from January 21st to July 14th compared to the same period in 2024. All right, that's sick. And then you look, there are some photos here. You know, this is when people are getting rocks thrown at them by the mobs. People are bleeding. They have to go to hospital for stitches. It's evil. Where are the arrests on this, all right? People need to get punished hard. And then, you know, Homan mentioned doxing earlier. Well, look at this, all right? They're posting pictures of personal addresses and threatening them and their families. All right, and then an officer had somebody show up on their house and dump trash on their lawns. Included signs reading F you and naming the officer directly. Blurred out right there for privacy reasons, you can see ICE, F you. Really just disgusting. Nasty stuff. All right. And then they talk about these false reports being filed. For example, there was one over here that said that a man was not being pursued by law enforcement, but he chose the top of a roof greenhouse and then fell 30 feet. Then after that, the left said that he, lost his life in ICE custody. Like, no, he lost his life being a dummy and running away from them. All right. There is a difference. Anyways, for Tom Homan.
Precedent. 700% for God's sake. And what I want to remind people is, I was an ICE agent. These men and women at ICE, they're mothers and fathers too. They don't hang their heart on a hook every day and they come to work. They're not the beast. They're enforcing a law. They're trying to make this country safe again, and they're being vilified for it and attacked for it. And we're not going to tolerate zero tolerance on this.
I will say this. If we're going to have zero tolerance on this truly, well, we need to start going legally after members of the media who are posting false info about ICE, illegal immigration, deportations, things like that. Because make no mistake, they are stoking the flames of this. And look, they made the standard, not me, all right? If they're going to go after Donald Trump and say January 6th Capitol riots was his fault, well, guess what? You better damn well know that these are going to be their fault, considering that Democrats are actively basically refusing to condone violence against federal agents who are conducting deportations. Really sick stuff. If there's one thing I really like about Tom Homan, it's that he is not afraid, all right? He is able to stand up even in the face of some strong opposition, or not strong opposition, but I should say negative opposition who are against him, all right? And here's a great example of that you will see right now.
We left thousands of empty ICE beds at $127 a night, empty. Thousands of them. They released them to NGOs at $500 a night. Why did they do that? Because they knew if they're in ICE detention, they get a hearing within 40 days, 90% lose their case, they get sent home. That is not what they wanted. They're playing the long game. Let's release them in the community. Wait 3 or 5 years. Pardon me?
Are you an MS-13 member? It says so.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. I got a question. No. I got a question for you. Why don't you come up here and hand me that picture? Bring it. USA. All right. They got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't respect the surface nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser.
I do got to say, that's quite an excellent disguise. All right, the guy does look pretty ultra MAGA, as it says on his shirt. Also, that is quite the interesting photo of Tom Homan right there. All right, so he's got the MS-13 tattoos on his knuckles. Very cool. Kind of looks like Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad. I will give that troll a solid, say 6 out of 10. All right, it's not the best, but certainly not the worst I've ever seen.
And you're such a badass, meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. I guarantee you, he sits down to pee. Guaranteed.
Did Tom Homan just challenge that guy to a street fight or a brawl? I gotta say, that's pretty legendary. Because Homan is, how old is Tom Homan? Let's do a quick Google on this, because I actually don't even know. Let's see. How old is Homan? He's 63 years old. All right, Tom Homan is almost a senior citizen. And he challenged that homie to a street brawl. It's kind of funny, all right? I will say. With all that being said, folks, thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. What'd you guys think? I hope you enjoyed the clip. Okay, let us know. Comment below. Let us know what kind of things you want to see in the future. And if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right, so we can see you again soon. And to those who are returning, thank you so much. We really appreciate having you back. God bless everybody. Thanks for tuning in.